Hello, you guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be doing a frequently asked questions portion where you guys ask me questions about my experience in K-pop, and I will give you the answers. For those of you who are new here, if you don't know me, hi, my name is Bianca. I trained with SM and YG Entertainment coaches, including Blackpink's dance coach, Chungha's dance coach, training in K-pop for a really long time. I ended up taking a step away from the industry in order to pursue acting, and now I work full-time as a producer. So, on my channel, I usually talk about my experience as a K-pop trainee and also in the K-pop training industry. I also upload videos with tutorials on how you can pass your K-pop audition, and I also have a Patreon account where I have K-pop classes. On my Patreon, you can sign up for one-on-one classes with me, in which I give you personal advice on how you can pass your K-pop audition. So if you're interested in learning how to audition for the K-pop training industry, definitely check out my Patreon. The link is in the description below. Okay, question number one. What is the oldest and youngest age in which you can become a K-pop trainee? A lot of companies will put on their website, specifically, they will say the age range in which they are interested in debuting their trainees. So I say typically the youngest age that is allowed is anywhere from 10 years old to 13 years old. And then on the older side, they accept trainees anywhere from 18 to 25. Some companies have wider ranges. Basically, when they are having a pre-debut lineup, that means that they're about to debut a new group, the age restriction will get smaller and smaller and smaller. But after they debut a new group, then they're looking for trainees of all different kinds of ages. And then as they slowly narrow down the most talented trainees, they will pick the most talented trainees and build a group around the most talented trainee. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically what I'm trying to say is that the companies will let you know what ages they're looking for in their trainees that they are searching for. Generally, the younger you are, the easier and better it is for you to audition for K-pop auditions. And I'd say a general rule of thumb is that your chances are highest when you're younger than 20, but older than 14. The next question says, if I am not Korean, can I audition for a K-pop company? The answer is yes. Actually, I'm not even Korean. A lot of K-pop companies these days are searching for global girl groups. So you can think like Cat's Eye, they have members who are not Korean, and some of them don't even speak Korean. If you think about Manon, she didn't even have an interest in the K-pop industry before she was scouted by Hybe Geffen. So anyone of any race can audition to be a K-pop idol. You can also think of like Black Swan. They also have a non-Korean member. And there's lots of Thai, Filipino trainees, Chinese trainees, Japanese trainees, American trainees. When I was training at SM, we had trainees from the UK, we had trainees from Australia, we had trainees from New Zealand, we had trainees from all over the world. We even had Indian trainees. So definitely do not worry about your race when you're signing up for these K-pop global auditions. Okay, the next question asks, will the company pay for my flight and accommodation if I pass the audition? The answer is yes. The company will pay for the majority of your stuff. So they will pay for your flight, they'll pay for your housing. Usually the housing is like a dorm room style, so you will have roommates and stuff like that. You might be living with anywhere from one other trainee to 3 other trainees. I think having 4 trainees in one room is very typical for housing and accommodations. If you're interested in auditioning, it's something to keep in mind. A lot of trainees, when they move to Korea, if they're not Korean, they get really homesick because the dorm lifestyle is a huge change from their normal lifestyle. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Another thing that the company will pay for is also your food, specifically the food that's within your allotted diet, lots of different kinds of healthy foods, but they're not going to pay for unhealthy foods. You'll have like your own money that you can spend on desserts if you want them. But generally, if you want ramen, for example, the company's not going to pay for your ramen. You have to buy your own ramen. If you want candy, you have to buy your own candy, etc. It was also very normal for us to get a lot of like beauty products for free. We also got merchandise for free. So like clothes, that was really nice. And there was also other things that we could buy from the company. So, like, for example, sometimes the trainers would sell their own merchandise and the trainees would buy the trainers' merchandise. And additionally, you could buy like additional classes from the company. So if you wanted to buy like private dance classes, you could buy those classes as well. If you wanted to buy like extra time with your coach, you could pay the coach extra to get more time with your coach compared to the other trainees. The company subsidizes all of your housing, most of your food, a lot of your clothing, and a lot of your beauty products. As a trainee, I feel like life was pretty good. It basically felt like being in college. Even sometimes we would play video games and we'd get to chat and even eat some extra sweet treats. Like if I were to buy like a bunch of sweet treats, I would share it with the other K-pop trainees, stuff like that. The next question is, does the company force you to get plastic surgery? Usually no, but the company will give you recommendations on what they think that you should get done. And sometimes trainees will get stuff done outside of the help from the company. So like, for example, a lot of the richer trainees, like once they become trainees, they'll start to get their own plastic surgery and kind of threw all the other trainees for a psychological loop. Because like, for example, if one of the trainees was already really pretty and then she came back the next day with a nose job, all the other trainees would be like, oh my God, wait, she just got a nose job and now she's even prettier. Like, what do we do? Like, do we even stand a chance against her? So yeah, the plastic surgery part was kind of like, it felt like emotional warfare. If I'm being honest, even though the company never like explicitly said like, oh yeah, you have to get plastic surgery. Like if one of the other trainees got plastic surgery and it looked good on her and she had renewed confidence for that plastic surgery, it kind of make the rest of the trainees feel like, wait, should I get something done too? Like, do I have to wait until debut or can I just should I just pay for it myself? So that's one of the things that was really interesting. Alrighty, you guys, I just got a brand new microphone. I've been having a couple of issues with audio in the past couple of videos. And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm working really hard to make every video better and better. This is a part of my commitment to providing higher quality videos for you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. And yeah, back to the questions. So the next question is, do companies want you to be skinny and do they force you to be on a diet? The answer is it depends on the company, but most of the big companies will not force you to be on a diet. When I was training, I honestly lost so much weight because we were dancing so much. Like K-pop trainees dance anywhere from 4 to 8 hours per day. So honestly, the food is still important, but if anything, I think that trainees undereat when they're training, and actually trainees should be eating more food, especially because trainees are super young and it's very typical for trainees to undereat because they're burning so many calories every day, just dancing and dancing and dancing. So the companies will not usually have to put trainees on diets in order to lose weight because they're usually already expending so much energy while doing their dance training. So the companies do provide trainees with food. Usually it's a lot of healthy food options. So most trainees don't really have to worry about quote unquote being skinny because they're already focusing on dancing and singing and making sure that they're the best dancers that they can be. And of course, the company is not going to buy you any sort of treats if you want like chocolate or one day you're just feeling like you want cake. Like if it's the trainee's birthday, the trainees have to go out of their way to buy sweets. So they have the option to buy and eat sweets, but the company is not going to encourage or discourage any of those foods. You don't have to be skinny in order to be a K-pop trainee. Companies know that a lot of the trainees are very young and they're going to lose weight over time while they're in the training program. The next question is, do I have to speak Korean? The answer is no. You do not have to speak Korean in order to become a K-pop trainee. When I became a K-pop trainee, I didn't know any Korean and I had to learn while I was training. If anything, I wish that I had known more Korean prior to auditioning, just because there was moments where I felt like I was behind and other trainees spoke fluent Korean and I felt like I didn't speak fluent Korean. So I definitely encourage trainees to learn how to speak Korean prior to auditioning, but it's not a requirement. Even though speaking Korean isn't a requirement, it's definitely a huge plus. If you speak multiple languages, companies will really like that, and you're more likely to pass your audition if you speak multiple languages. For me, when I was a trainee, I spoke Chinese, English, and I was learning Korean, and I also spoke a little bit of Spanish. So If you speak multiple languages, definitely include that on your application. The next question is, what if I'm good at singing and not dancing, or good at dancing and not singing, or good at one thing and just not good at everything? Let me tell you, there were so many trainees who were good at dancing but not singing. And there were a lot of trainees who were good at singing but not dancing. You don't have to be a completely well-rounded, debut-ready K-pop idol in order to become a K-pop trainee. That's just not true. However, if you're going into your audition knowing that you're a weaker dancer, start going out of your way to improve your weaknesses. I think that it's extremely important to hold yourself accountable when you're auditioning. Don't let your weaknesses hold you back. Having confidence is really important, and K-pop judges look for confidence. They look for potential. And if you have potential, the companies will allow you to pass your audition. The next question is, can I audition with no experience? The answer is yes. You do not have to have a lot of experience to become a K-pop trainee. However, if you do have a lot of experience, you're more likely to pass. So I say, start going out of your way now to gain as much experience as you can. Start taking classes in singing, start taking classes in dancing, start learning Korean, start auditioning for your local theater, start going to choir practice. Just get any kind of experience that you possibly can, and you'll be a step ahead of 99% of the other K-pop auditionees. The next question is, what company should I audition for? I personally think that you should audition for as many companies as you possibly can, just because you don't exactly get to pick and choose, unless if you're extremely, extremely talented. Most K-pop trainees are not going to get into every single company that they audition for, and in order to increase your chances, you should definitely audition for as many companies as you can. Also, a lot of K-pop trainees don't get in on their first time auditioning, so you should audition for as many companies as you can just so that you get that K-pop audition experience. I think it's also important to think about branding when you're auditioning. So if you're really interested in YG, but you don't have that girl crush vibe, you should definitely be considering other companies like maybe JYP or HYBE. If you have a very girl crush vibe, maybe the Black Label is for you. If you have a very classic visual look, maybe SM is more for you. Just having a kind of an understanding of what each company looks for and how you fit into their brand, that will help you figure out what company is the best for you. The next question is, what is your biggest piece of K-pop audition advice for aspiring K-pop trainees? My biggest piece of advice for aspiring K-pop auditionees is just to start gaining experience in any way possible. As I said earlier, you should start taking singing lessons, start taking dance lessons, start asking your friends for their opinion on your audition, get help from a tutor. If you're interested, taking my Patreon class and singing and dancing in front of other people. I think a lot of K-pop trainees go into K-pop training thinking like, oh, I'm going to train to become a K-pop trainee, but I don't want to tell my parents. And they're like, I'm just going to audition for K-pop, but I don't want to take dance classes. I'm going to prepare for auditions in my room alone, and I'm going to pass my audition. And then one day everyone is going to be wrong about me. I just don't think that that's the right approach. I think that K-pop trainees need experience dancing in front of other people, because if you can't dance and sing in front of your parents, if you can't dance and sing in front of your friends, how are you going to be able to dance and sing in front of the K-pop judge? That's just the truth. And that's my biggest piece of advice for aspiring K-pop trainees. Just start getting comfortable asking strangers for advice about your K-pop audition. Start auditioning in front of your choir teachers. Start doing more auditions for local theater. Just get used to auditioning, and once you get better at performing in front of people, your stage fright will slowly go away and you'll become a better and better performer. The next question is, can I audition to become a K-pop trainee even if I'm not a good visual? Can I audition to become a K-pop trainee even if I have acne? Or can I audition if I don't match the Korean beauty standard? The answer is yes. If you're talented, the company will still be interested in you even if you don't match the Korean beauty standard. Companies know that they can always pay for skincare treatments. They can always give you plastic surgery, but talent is the hardest thing to find. So don't let your insecurities hold you back. The truth is, you never know what these K-pop judges are looking for, and you don't want yourself to be the person holding you back. I remember when I was a K-pop trainee, I was very worried about my visuals, and now looking back, I'm like, why was I worried? I was just putting myself down, and that did not help me in my K-pop training. Now these days, I don't care what anyone thinks about me, and I have a lot of self-confidence in my abilities. But it took me a while to get to that point. And if there's anything that I can do to, help encourage young K-pop auditionees in their K-pop audition journey, is just knowing that confidence comes from within. Don't worry about what the K-pop judges are looking for. Just worry about becoming the best K-pop trainee that you possibly can. And the final question is, did you get to meet K-pop idols when you're a K-pop trainee? The answer is yes. When I was training, I got to meet a bunch of K-pop idols, and it was extremely motivating for us because they would bring the K-pop idols around to encourage us in our training. And for me, it really showed me that famous people are just people. K-pop idols, they would just walk around the building like it's their job. It's like they live here. And I think one important thing for aspiring K-pop trainees to know is that famous people are just people, and anyone can become famous if they put their mind to it. So it was a really motivating thing for me. And I think the more famous people that I met throughout my career, not even in just K-pop training, but also in acting, in modeling, I've met a lot of celebrities. And I just realized, like, yeah, these people are just people. And if you work hard, you can manifest anything that you want. It's kind of not that deep, especially these days. On the internet, we have all the tools possible to audition. There's so many online auditions these days. And I remember back when I was doing K-pop training, like they did not have online auditions. And there was a lot of physical barriers for trainees to get training and for auditionees to audition. So now these days, there's not a lot of barriers. And I think that we should all be thankful for how easy it is to audition online. Yeah, it's a huge privilege to audition online. Anyway, you guys, thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A, and let me know if you have any more questions in the comments. I'm going to do another Q&A soon based on the questions that you guys ask me, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Also, if you're interested in one-on-one training with me, please be sure to check out my Patreon. I'll link it down below in the YouTube description. If you subscribe to my Patreon, I'll be able to watch your audition videos and give you personalized feedback. I've even included my secret K-pop training schedule in another video. You guys can watch that here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!